So I'm going to show you how I test each of these spring-loaded launchers before I package and ship them out. So the spring-loaded launcher consists of 4 pieces. It has an end cap, it has a top and a bottom with a cavity in there, and then it has a little FDM printed trigger with a spring that's coiled around a stub. And it's designed, I modeled this after the original, but taking inspiration from some reissues. And it gets assembled like that. We'll line up the tab. Alright. Here's pull the camera over here so we can focus on a little bit on this. And what I do is I take a plain missile that doesn't have any paint on it. Make sure my holes lined up. The thing that kind of guides it together is you can see there's this little rectangular section in the back that it kind of sits inside of so that it sits aligned at least while I'm holding it. I pinch it from the back right here, and I'll load the missile in before I put the cap on. Right? Has a night, and if it engages, that's a good sign. And then what I'll do is I'll fire it 3 times. So that's 1. Ah! It's got some fire in it. These launchers are great. Alright, that was 2, and then... Ah! Oh goodness, I don't know where it went. Oh, okay, it's on the floor. Well, anyway, that's how I determine whether or not it works well, is if I can load it in there and fire it off 3 times. And then once that's done, because you may notice my design doesn't use a screw, I actually use a little bit of super glue. There it is. I'll use this Loctite, this liquid glue. It's really nice. So once I get it to this state, pop it apart right here. And I'm going to put a little dab, just a little dab, in this little cavity right here. That's it. That's all you need. Just that little bit. I'm going to take the end and I'm going to put it over this piece, like that. Make sure the glue doesn't squeeze out the side anywhere. Sorry, my camera is auto-focusing on the background because there's more interesting stuff going on back there. Alright. And before it hardens too much, I'm going to go ahead and take one of these caps right here. And the cap has a push-fit design. Move it over here. The cap has this little push-fit design where it'll lock in place. What I do is I kind of wiggle it back and forth, apply downward pressure, and you heard that sound, it pops in, keeps that front end nice and secure, and you're not getting this thing back apart again without breaking it. And that's just the way I designed it to help clean up the screw. There's no hole. And there you go. This is one of Starscream's launchers ready to go. Let's take a missile and see how it works. Again. Ah! This tripod is funny. Alright. Let's test it again just because, even though we know it should work just fine. There you go. There it goes. Yep. Well, and that's it. I don't use the actual painted missiles because I like to keep these things, you know, unused when you get them. So just know that I check all these launchers before I ship them out to make sure that they're working 100%. And I like to say that the technology has improved a little bit with time. Ever since I first designed these things, I remember my missiles would only go beep like that, but now these things fire a pretty good ways. I had to modify the design considerably as I kept making more and more of them, and as I kept mass producing them, I realized that I needed to help the design a little bit more. Like, it wasn't perfect. But I think I got it to a point now where it's just about perfect. It's right where it needs to be. I was having issues where sometimes they were firing themselves, so I made it a little wider in some areas. I made the mechanism to engage the missile stronger once I realized how the physics was working in there. So anyway, yeah, that's how they go together. Let's do another one. So that one's finished. This one's finished too, but I'm gonna do another one. All right. this little 3D printer hair not included. There you go, very nice. Not bad. How far does that fire? It's alright. Yeah, it's alright. That one's good to go. So I know collectors, most of us, we're gonna put the missile in there, and it's gonna sit on the shelf for years. But if you do want to play with it, you can. And that's the fun part. Let's try this Skywarp one. Trying to look through a camera and do this is a little funny. There we go. Hey, I caught it. There we go. Every part on here is painted. This is not printed in purple. The little trigger's not printed, it's painted as well. That's a good one. Oh, did I do it 3 times? I don't know, but we're going to do it a 4th time just in case. Ah! I interfered with that one. Ah! It's gone! Alright, so it's kind of the more fun parts of putting this kit together, is testing out the missiles. Alright, that's a little thing.